Conditions May Apply by CinnamonPinecones. Read by Distracted by Books. Chapter 70. Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. Shota had been extremely tense since Ivy bodily shoved him out of Uptown. They responded to his wellness checks every day, and Tsukashi hadn't heard a peep from them, but that didn't mean they weren't getting themselves into trouble. Nem and Zashi had taken it upon themselves to, quote, loosen him up and dragged him out for drinks after school on Friday, and he reluctantly complied because he knew they were right. He was too tense. It had an ache in his shoulders that no amount of hot showers or stretching seemed to help, and despite the fact that he'd been getting far more sleep than usual, he'd never felt so restless. He'd just ordered his first drink when he felt his phone buzz in his pocket. Ivy, would Tsuka be able to call in a raid on my word? Eraserhead, no, probably not. Not without putting his own ass on the line. Why, did you find something? Ivy, yes, I did. What about an anonymous tip? Eraserhead, those are generally taken with a grain of salt, especially if you're trying to get feet on the ground in Uptown. Ivy, all right, so if I had enough evidence to get a warrant on Block 8 and organize a raid, how would I do that? Jimmy Crickets, what were they up to? Eraserhead, I told you not to go poking around there. What did you do? Ivy, doesn't matter now, just answer my question. Eraserhead, I'd have to push for it like I did with the meth lab. Ivy, great. What if it was urgent? Eraserhead, what do you mean by urgent? They didn't respond for a few seconds, too long for Shota's liking. The last messages got responses almost immediately. Eraserhead, Ivy, what do you mean by urgent? Sin, Ivy, that was not the response he wanted. Sho, what's going on? Zashi asked as they took in his no doubt rigor mortis stiff posture. Shota just waved him off without even looking up from his phone. Eraserhead, Ivy, where are you? Ivy, in a cabinet? Eraserhead, in a cabinet where? Ivy, don't worry about it. He was going to kill that damn kid. He shot to his feet and turned to leave the bar, alerting Nem to the situation as well. Both of them were trailing behind him as he threw open the door and started booking it to the car. Eraserhead, I'm on my way. Ivy, no, don't you frickin' dare. Send Suka or someone else. I don't give a frip. Stay away from here. Shota didn't even bother reading the whole message before pocketing his phone. Zashi, do you have your gear in the back? He asked over his shoulder. Yes, where are we going? They answered, sprinting behind him. North side, block 8, he replied, already halfway to the car. Why? What's going on? Nem asked, doing her best to keep up with the two men's much longer strides. If you're coming, you can't ask questions, Nem. Shota leveled her with a serious look as he wrenched open the driver's side door. Oh, that kind of trouble. All right, okay. I've never had more questions in my life. Let's go, she said as she took her spot in the back seat. Shota didn't even give them time to fully shut their doors before he was burning rubber down the street. Sheesh, Sho, what's going on? Hizashi asked from the passenger seat as they buckled themselves in with one hand and held onto the door handle with the other. Ivy got themselves in a mess. My phone just buzzed. Get it from my pocket, he ordered as he drove like a maniac with both hands planted firmly on the wheel. How come he's allowed to ask questions? Nem piped up from the back. They said, no, don't you freaking dare send Suka or someone else. I don't give a flip. Stay away from here. And then they said, coming here without backup is suicide. I'm toast either way. Frick! Tell them not to call the cops. Tell them I've got backup and I'll be there in 15 minutes. What the hell are we walking into, guys? I need at least a little information, Nem pleaded from the back seat. Dumbass got themselves stuck in the gang's headquarters, and if they call the cops, they'll get themselves arrested too. He caught a glimpse of Nem's face in the rearview mirror, and she was wearing a look that said he was going to be getting a lot of questions later. They asked how much backup. Zashi interrupted their conversation via eye contact. Just tell them 2 pros that won't ask questions, he said with a pointed look back at Nomori. He heard Zashi make a quiet questioning noise as he looked down at the phone in his hands. What'd they say? It's pictures. Lots of pictures, they mused under their breath. Open them. What are they of? He barked back at them. Give me a sec. It's profiles. A bunch of people. It's got pictures and sketches and names and quirks. And oh, they just sent another picture. It's a floor plan, I think. You think? It's hard to tell. It's a blurry picture of another phone screen with a hand-drawn map. It's got numbers and arrows, but I don't know what the numbers mean, they defended. Nem, take this and give me my speakers. Should be under Show's seat, he said as he handed her the phone. They just said quirks with a question mark, she said as she exchanged the phone for Hizashi's directional speakers. Tell them who you are. They'll probably know your quirks already. The car went quiet for a moment before Nem let out an offended scoff. Who the hell are you hanging around with, Sho? They're an ass. What'd they say? They said, why the flip do you know so many limelighters on speed dial? Fine. Okay, I'll figure something out, but keep them corralled. What the hell is that supposed to mean? No questions, Nem. Don't take it personally, he replied, more so because he didn't have the mental bandwidth to explain how they ran things in Uptown right now than out of worry that she would disagree with what he was doing. After a few moments of tense silence and reckless driving, Nem spoke up again. All right, really long message, just going to read it word for word. Okay, this is a terrible plan. Station Midnight at entry 1, north facing. Sorry the map is so shit. And Station Present Mike at entry 2, south facing. You stand guard at the roof as backup and do not engage unless completely necessary. The only other way in is on the 2nd floor. It's a window with a broken latch facing west. It leads to a bathroom. That's how I got in and where I'll leave from. Last I saw or heard, there's about 13 to 15 people here, including the boss of the operation, but most of them were downstairs. Tell Mike to say some heinous shit or something to draw some of them out and have Midnight sneak in the back and knock out anyone on the 1st floor. Do not let gas spread to the 2nd floor, at least not before I leave. Why don't they want you to infiltrate with me? That doesn't make any sense. It's just wasting one of our limited players, she finished with a question. I have a hit on my head. They already sent someone after me. I'm pretty sure they sent someone after Ivy too, but they clearly don't give a shit about that, so I elect to not give a shit about it either. No, the hell you won't, Hizashi screeched from the passenger seat. Zashi, I don't care, Shota. Don't be stupid. You dying isn't a better outcome than Ivy dying. Do you have our comms in here? They asked, not hearing him out at all. He took a deep breath and white-knuckled the steering wheel before responding yes in the glove box. Nem, do you have a comm on you? No, we were going out for drinks, not a raid, she complained. It's fine, Nem, take mine. I can connect my headphones. It just takes a minute, Hizashi said as he passed back one of the earpieces and started fiddling with his headphones. Ivy sent another text. They said, you can't erase profiles 8, 12, 17, 27, 28, and 36. 12, 27, and 36 are here tonight, but I don't know about the others. Noted. I'm parking us a block and a half off and taking the rooftops there. You two go a half block south, split up, and get to your stations. I'll be able to direct you from above. Nem, send the profiles to our group chat if you think they'll help. Zashi, do you want them? I don't want to be any more incriminated than I already am, and it's not like I'm going to have much time to read them once I give your phone back, Sho. I need to get these connected. Just look them over and let me know if there's any quirks that might cause trouble. There's a guy with a sound wave manipulation quirk? Hoshino? Shota butted in. Yeah, he's been arrested. How long had Ivy been working this list? What the hell were they up to? If they made it out of there alive tonight, he was going to kill them. All right, nothing specific to you. Then Zashi, a few long-range, but nothing crazy. Shota assumed that his slowing down from the breakneck speed he'd been going was enough of a warning that they were almost there. He flicked off the headlights as they entered the warehouse district and slowly pulled into an alley a block and a half away, like he had said he would. Comms are all connected. Take yours and go. We'll head to our stations, Zashi said as he handed him a comm, and out of the car, quietly shutting the door behind him. Without looking back, he looped his capture scarf around a pipe and started hauling himself up to the rooftops and booked it to Block 8. He watched from the roof as Nem and Zashi got to their posts. Eraser, tell Ivy to cover their ears as much as possible. I'll give you two warnings, but I can't warn them, Zashi called over the comm. Eraserhead, we are in position. Keep your ears covered as much as possible. Ivy, got it. Message received. Ready when you are, Shota responded. All right. Cover your ears and pardon my French, Hizashi warned with an awful accent before muting his comm and screaming, Hey, all you no good sons of bitches, I heard your stupid boy band got taken down by a little birdie. How pathetic. Exemplary trash talk, Mike. Nimura giggled. Yeah, probably should have come up with something in the car. I'm stressed. Give me a break, he whined. Well, they're coming out anyway. Easily antagonized, I guess. I got 4 on my end, Midnight. Give it a second before you go in. I'll try and draw out more. Ah, you pussies sent out a search party for little old me? How charming! The 4 guys who had come out to see what was going on winced and covered their ears. Shota could see them getting irritated and drawing closer. They were shouting back now, and 2 more people had joined the crowd. Midnight. Now, Mike's got 6. He could see her approach the other side of the building and heard glass shatter as she no doubt forced her way in. Keeping both ears and eyes out, he went over to the window Ivy mentioned and waited. He occasionally had to cover his ears as Zashi took down the guys after him. For Ivy's sake, he hoped it was less grating inside the building. Several minutes passed, and Shota got nothing from Ivy. No text, and they still hadn't made their way out. His skin was crawling, begging him to go inside, but he stopped himself. He was backup. If anyone got into trouble, they were going to need him. He heard fighting going on inside the building, and he spent a few seconds restraining himself from jumping into action before he smelled smoke and saw a flickering orange light from the window next to the one he was posted at. Shit, that was fire. End of chapter.